I should. Let's see. You can see my hands. At least that area is cleaned up enough. I was actually just watching Thud Print. That is not. All right. So there's some other stuff in here. So I found this lead battery in the dumpster a couple days ago. And this light and this door lock. I'm going to try to tear that, peel this little piece off here and get in there and get in that tumbler. Because I just watched the Scrap It All in regards to some of these locks and doorknobs and stuff. And I talked to the scrapyard about that. The one up here, they're like, if it still has even if it's like a little weak, okay. If it's strong magnetic, that's steel. If you have whatever you have separated, and if it's still the cast and the brass, it'll go as cast instead of shred. But you have to get as much as you can out. So I don't think there's any. Right, so that would go as cast, but there's brass and copper in here. So it's either 50 cents a pound, or I get the brass out. Decrease a little value of that one piece, but increase my brass weight. So, not making a huge mess. This was out by the second dumpster. And it looks like, this feels like a big old ball joint. Moog. How much want to bet I could probably look this ball joint up and sell it if it's Moog. So that is definitely not scrap. Some things you just have to save. Little bits of some shred, which this chances are it's not going to be bright if it's not magnetic. It is. Non-magnetic, real thin stuff will be aluminum. Get another screwdriver, an outlet. I don't know who makes this. I'm not even going to try to read it. Nothing good, I'll tell you that. And most of this stuff here, that's steel. Yep. I think this little piece, I think that's brass. A little fitting for something. Then I'll go my brass. Spark plug gapper. That's steel. And some aluminum shred, but I'm not going to try to rip that rivet apart. This is a continuity tester, so that's going to be steel, but that's going to, chances are that's brass in here. Aluminum can, same thing with that other one. Steel, Steel-orama. And then there's some little pieces. So that was pretty much all. That was all pretty much in a box. We have that heating coil. This thing here. And this piece of brass. Steel. That might not be. Might just be a lot of steel underneath. But if anything, it would go into shred, aluminum shred. This is steel. No. All right, so that's all steel. Still had too much of a magnetic attraction pulled that far apart. So this is some insulated wire that's already been cut, but some brass ends right here. Let's grab these ones. Try to deal with those. There we go. Might have some new speaker wire. Not strong. I mean, it's not going to be able to carry a lot of watts through it. If you're here, I see there's 4 people. Cool. Thanks. Just stuff that I found the past couple days. A few things I've already found. You know, I've already cut down. And this is a process down some more bin. Oh, here's the some more of this stuff. So that's insulated wire. Insulated wire. 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 And then these go in here. Stuff that needs processed down. They have some circuit boards and stuff. I'm thinking of insulated wire. I can cut this end off. Process that. This is probably going to be steel from a lawnmower. That'll go outside with the bigger steel. I mean, barely. That's all going to go in with aluminum shred. These feel like brake shims. If it's a 10 millimeter, I won. 9/16 it looks like. I will keep that though. Okay, so we know that's steel. That's steel. This chain is probably steel. It is. It is. So this is a free quarter of a penny right there. Yep. 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 Well, oh yeah, there's that whole thing right there. I'm trying to clear this up. So this feels like aluminum. Couldn't find the other one. Nice little chunk of aluminum. TV stand or monitor. Could have left those on, but I'll be nice. It's like that one singer. I'll be sure. Let me get this in the aluminum. This can go here in the steel. Looks like the crock pot, the pressure cooker air fryer thing, and beat up. So I had that for quite a few years actually. I think I got it the second Christmas we were here. So I give my neighbor the cans, and I just keep the tabs. And I even collect the cans from the trash when I find stuff. And if there's a bunch of cans, I'll take the tabs off, give him the cans. Just kind of a friendly neighborly thing to do. Pass on the good karma. I'm like, oh, my one neighbor, he was always nice and recycled and gave me the cans. And I'm going to do that to the next person. You know, things like that. So I want to get this little stuff. So that's going to be aluminum shred. There's barely have any magnetism to them. And try to keep some of this area more clean, and then I wanted to wait until I had a bigger piece of something to take apart. To occupy the space, and then aside of that, all this other stuff was just kind of adding up. So these screws might be still can't stainless because you're for the exterior of a light. And you don't want that stuff to rust. Cool reflecto. Well, if anything, I grabbed the bigger pills. These ones may be steel. The ones on the inside. Nope. These will just go in with brass in the meantime, and then I'll separate a bunch of that stuff out. I mean, the amount of brass I have, you know, is like fills this about a quarter way. Just little bits and pieces. Trash. Trash. You figure it'd be sealed pretty good. I knew that was going to happen. So there's other screws in there. It's just plastic. It'll come apart. Or where is my actual copper one? Right there. My stuff is already exposed. So process more later. I got the brass out of that battery. That's a little piece on that one. Can't start the show with the main attraction. So a chunky piece of brass. Nope, that's not it. I need me razor blade. There it is. Doyle rolls. A little switch in there. Some more brass. Patink. Patinka matata. And whatever's in here. I mean, it's already coming apart. Oh, let's worry about getting the rest of this. Betcha. Don't speak. Know just what you're thinking. Well, let's have. Fortunately, those things aren't that much. They're like $5 a pair or something. What is that even caught on? That is the upsetting part. Not those ones. These ones. I mean, is that like... It really does feel like that is like pinned in there. I don't know why I'm trying so hard just for this, but... Yeah, it seems to be... stuck in there. and it's magnetic. So I am definitely not going to work that hard for that. This, yeah, different story. Not magnetic, and that one just popped right out. Well, I got my first casualty of tool. Broke that one. Steel. That's what. Well, I don't know where the other piece went. It'll come up. Got some silver on there. A little copper. Damn it, and I used those little snips to get this silver really low down. I got all my little silver contacts in here and other sterling. Kappa, that is that's trash. That's a headache. Oh, there it is. There's the other piece. Well, that sucks. Insulated. At least do them one solid. Oh. Battery's done. And this whole continuity tester. Just like that. Okay. Move this stuff off. So yeah, these. I have to eyeball to really figure out. Maybe there is a. If I push those down, I'll figure these out. All right, process that one down. So that's going to be a steel. I don't know what this is. This inner part. Steel. Stainless. Steel. Stainless. Ooh. A long screw. Well, that works just as well, but I guess I got to take try to get this off of here. Some of these put back away. Hey, that's going to make it real easy. Big old chonking glass. Chonking. I just got done watching. Well, not really. I didn't watch the whole thing. Dub print. He's out there scrapping in the April snow in Canada. So I got a feeling it's plastic and stainless. It doesn't have any magnetic attraction. So you figure stainless because it's something that's, a lot of germs and stuff. Plastic. Plastic. Stainless. Stainless is 30 cents a pound up here. Steel, steel. Let's get a bunch of this stuff out of the way. Trash. So I know, I have seen, thus I know. If anyone's chatting, I don't think there's really any way to really let me know. Because sometimes that does not work. It does not come up. And I'm not the first streamer to say that or to have that happen to. So if you're new, this is a Moog ball joint I got out of the trash. So I got to look up Moog K80039. Whatever it is, it's a nice bulky ball joint. And it's Moog. Some more wire. Should be able to rip these out. There's one. Two. All right, lots of screws on the back. And I'm sure for any other person who's a scrapper, like I don't even bother with those. I just toss them in a shred. I'm learning. Leave me be. This is your little safety stopper. So you know how far it could go and still be safe away from the wall. I can't get the rusted one out. There's not really. And that is why people or companies use stainless and brass. But to me, I mean, I'll see, is there, what is this thing? It is a New Wave Bravo XL air fryer and oven. However much that weighs, 15 pounds. You know, it'd be $1.50 in scrap and shred and steel because it's magnetic, right? But I'll timestamp on when I started taking this apart. And as long as I don't like deviate too much, see how long it takes me to take this apart. What?
I'm walking and I got a Band-Aid stuck on my foot. I don't know where it came from.
What Band-Aid stuck on you?
I don't know, it was laying on the carpet. I'm not stuck on Band-Aids, but they're just stuck on me.
It's a great slogan.
Yeah.
All right. All steel. Yep. What?
I just have knee.
The inside?
Yeah, seeing the whole thing all just be covered.
There is a guitar. Spring.
Yeah.
Spring is a one strange thing in engineering that gets weaker the more it's used, or it gets stronger the more it's used, because you get that reverse tension. All right. So I got a feeling that the goodies are just this. Oh, cool, nice. A little bit of aluminum, all kinds of little brass. A light bulb. And then we'll worry about that later. about it like that right there. Brass in there, so I can get that out of that. So I wonder, yes, that's going to be those. So in order to get the balance all the way, because these are stainless rollers right here. So that's definitely going to be worth that. Little fan, stuff, cord. Where to get to that? Brass in that. Okay, so I want to get to this panel. Maybe I can get everything out in one fell swoop. That's 4 screws, or just as many going that way. So you remember that time, dude, that I told you that one of my viewers ran into me up at Savers? And just ran into me down in Mayfield. Or Cedar Road. I'm standing there and just kind of going through a few more things and said something I couldn't hear him the first time, and then he's like, "Is that Derek again?" Where is that? No, sure is. And everyone looked happily ever after. Well, it probably got thrown out because I could smell burnt electronics in here. Yeah. See what the space is. Bah. Bah.
Huh?
It's steel, it's not stainless or brass or aluminum. It is the worst of the worst. Well, that actually be like heavily contaminated, toxic irradiated lead. But there's worse things out there. I don't think that that's going to be. Could be. Oh, that is strong little bit of steel. Probably stainless. Could be copper. It has that malleability as of copper. It cut pretty easily. If that was steel, that was an easy cut. Okay, that's out. Cut that down for electric motor. Stainless. I'm communicating with my family.
Your home planet?
My home planet.
Oh, okay. I thought that sounded familiar.
How many more? Oh, and there's a bunch of. No, let's get the cuts in this out first. Right, ooh. More aluminum shred. Oh, I need the other ones. Move that thing out. I thought so. I thought so. Can't tell if those are Allens or rivets. that's that. We want to look more stuff. Hmm?
It's your piece of pot here. You're trying to take that apart. I'm trying to take these apart. These burgers. They're frozen together.
Okay, so I think that's steel. There's steel on those rivets, not on that. That's pretty good. That's steel. No, a wallet. Alexander Jester. Swiss Gear wallet. I mean, this has got to be Columbia Station. The CSL plasma. I don't know what that's for.
Yeah, so you got the name from an ID in there?
Social security card.
Oh. So, well,
You can type it up on Facebook, see if it comes up.
yeah.
If not, then he's the one having to buy a new ID. So those are here. Those are. That is. That is. That is. The rest of this is all steel. A whole bunch of shell. In the meantime, as I get more, I can just toss it in there. Which I did end up. I found some steel tubes to like something out of the dumpster, and that's already out in the carport. You can just put those right in this.
Bonus to you scrapping.
What?
You may have just found something that somebody was losing their mind looking for.
Yeah, could.
Never would have imagined it would have been in convection oven.
Oh, yeah, so combine the bits of that and then what the circuit board's going to be. Not really a whole lot out of it. But
Some moments of entertainment.
yeah, you can say that. That's got a little bit of steel on the end, so that's just going to go off the wire. These ones have brass. Yeah, I was hoping it was my retirement fund. I didn't even see it. I had no idea where it even came from. I think it was tucked up on the roller on the top.
Yeah.
And then when I undid that roller, it came down. Come on, all one or two other people saw it happen.
I saw it happen in person this time.
Yeah, I looked down, like, what the hell is that? And it reads like something with Social Security or something. It reads birthday Social Security. Oh, because their birth certificate, I'm gonna guess.
All I know is they have no sympathy. That's not an easy endeavor. Prove your identity without some of those documents.
That hopefully is shred. Now it's too magnetic. Oh, sorry, I broke my little wire pliers. Yeah. It's going to be aluminum. Yeah, those ones are like $5.
Yeah.
I need to get some different ones anyhow.
Well, at least you found out this way. And
Yeah. Num num num. Steel. I have a smaller pair. Yeah, it's not as bulky on my hands. Yeah, that one starts right there. Cut that. There. Really good. Oh, I hear that. Oh, that's yeah, I think I want to cut that. Hey, Yoda. Let's throw that board. It's my little micro things to take apart. Break that open somewhere else. Yeah, just kind of had a few things that were smaller things, and then I found this toaster oven today, or whatever it is. Air fryer, convection oven. Threw it in the back of the car and went and hit a few stores and came back, and here I am. I broke my little wire snips, my real small ones. So I can't get like this real. I mean, those are barely. Barely. But be honest about it. So instead of letting stuff kind of add up and all that, it's like I've done before, is better to get it torn apart, get it organized, and get out of the way. Yeah, it's gonna be too much for that. You have to tinker with that later. So ultimately, I mean, it's not really a lot, but it's just to take down and let the stuff add up. So before, I mean, that's where that's at right now. I have a little aluminum thing with just a little piece of aluminum here and there. Lead acid battery down there. So I got to get to this board. I mean, that's a little piece of aluminum. It's nothing crazy, but it's better than it just being all plastic. Speaking of, let's get back to this. All these little brass connectors down here. So there's a lot of brass and one switch, copper MOSFET. These might be brass right here. They are. All that's all brass. For a circuit board, that's doing pretty good. And whatever's underneath this, which then I'm gonna have a stowaway. So I ran into one of my viewers again. Well, he ran into me, I should say. He saw me at the store. I was like, "Is that Derek again?" I'm like, "Yeah, it sure is." So they have viewers and they see me. And it's the only time it's happened so far. There's people I have talked to who have subscribed to the channel while I'm out in, out in public. So this, ooh, oh, it wasn't sticking at first, but it's steel. Get that little bit of, I mean, I can. I mean, I think the scheme of things, that really doesn't matter for that. That's probably plastic, but all these little buttons in here have silver in them. Not much. Plastic. These are metal. All right, so instead of it being all plastic, a little bit back. That's cool. Yeah, these are way too strongly magnetic for it to go in as a shred. These brake shims. Oh, a little, barely. That's cool. That's an extra amount. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully there's none back there. 1, 2. Come unscrewed. 3, 4. It's a circuit board. 5, 6. All the resistance. 7, 8. Capacitate. 9, 10. Couple ICs. Like my song? If you don't, that's okay. No, this goes into that. That is insulated wire. Yeah, so IC, and these are like $32 a pound. A piece of copper under here. A copper speaker. The brass. Should be under this jack. Thanks. It's what they call ad lib or improvisation. Little oscillator. I just thought it would be very fitting to have a song like that. You just never know. And with today's political climate, do my part trying to help people along. Cool. Little couple pieces of unknown brass in that. That's a win. Instead of being trash. So if you take this apart, that's going to have a little bit of a little brassing in there. I can just clip this. And little capacitors, and I can cut all those off some other time. Process that board down some other time. no, I didn't. Found a iPhone 11 in the trash too, and that goes with this tablet that I have down here, the iPad, and then the 2 iPods that I have found in the trash as well. And all but the iPad, the phone, and the iPods are like $100 each for parts. Daughter plugged the phone in, let it charge. It charged. It runs. At least it starts up. I don't know how everything else on it. Get this stuff apart. So in all, that's $300 in Apple stuff. So if anyone's like, "You're not making money wrapping that stuff," I got $300 in parts not working Apple stuff already. There you go. Aluminum. I got like stuff in here that needs broken down. Break it down. So these are copper. There's nothing special on these, but they're just copper. So you cut those out, rip that plastic off, and there you go. The facts of life. The facts of life. So this would probably be, it will be a mid or a low grade board. So you get off what you can, that the other stuff is worth more than 50 cents a pound, because that's what these boards go for. Might be a little more because that gold, the gold penning right there, I'll get that coil out of there. So brass is $2.20 a pound. Boards like this are 50 cents a pound. Going to reduce the weight of the board, but you're going to get your money out of the brass exchange. Yeah, 8 people. When I first started tearing that thing, oven thing apart, I had 8 people in there. I'm like, what? And all these resistors and capacitors, there's going to be copper wires, and if there's enough showing, you might as well extract a little, because you're not going to get $3 a pound for circuit board. You got to think that next week I was going to go up here to the bike shop. My bike's still over here, right? Go over to a bike shop and go get the rest of the little bits and pieces and parts and doodads and stuff I need. Extra gloves or just gloves in general. But now I got to go spend money on little wire snippers because I broke mine. Man, I don't think this little bit right here is really going to matter, because it's all like solder but it's not magnetic. That's all that matters. Brass is brass, dirty a little or not. Okay, if I do this. That's a little too dirty. Okay. I will take it. Take it to the limit. Take it to the limit. One more time. Can't get it perfect, guys. A little bit of piece like that is not going to ruin someone's scrapping operation. But be nice and try to... I mean, now that I know how that, how this one up here operates, brass is brass. Clean, dirty, clean up as much as you can, but brass is brass. Aluminum, unless it's cast, is aluminum, and that includes any sort of zinc, any sort of cast or tin, any of that kind of shred, anything like that. It's all aluminum, unless it's cast, and then it's cast. Well, motherfucker, that's not what I wanted. So said at that, I mean, when did I go up there? A week ago, maybe? I'm going to put those in with the circuit boards. Steel is steel unless it's stainless or, you know, much higher grades. And brass is brass. Unless absolutely pure. I said, I mean, ingots, and he goes, yep, unless you got that stuff. Man, was that board or that board already? Guess so. So, yeah, the prices aren't too bad. I mean, you could drive around different areas. Try to drop off a whole bunch of this and a whole bunch of that, but to me, no. I doubt it. Yep. That's definitely what that is. So that is definitely aluminum. This, let's see, feels like it's aluminum. Yeah, if that was brass, that'd be, let's see here. If it's brass, I would not have been able to do that as easily. That could be brass. I doubt it. It's too light. But cutting the thumb down here, it doesn't get with the yellow color. So aluminum, got to get that apart. That's aluminum. So this is cast, right? That's cast. That's cast. Extruded. Other stuff needs taken apart. How is it that you just made a turn into the smell of a movie theater, McDonald's, and where's that place where you used to go that used to have that really good bread stuff?
What?
You used to have that really good bread. Aluminum.
That one, I don't know.
Oh well.
Oh.
I mean, we can't experience it again if I don't know what it is or where it's at.
So, I'm cooking burgers. I'm just doing it the quiet and with some fingers way.
There we go. Copper. There we go. Aluminum. That's cast. That's heavy like brass. Nope. Well, those are copper. That's what they're going in as. That wasn't too bad. But yeah, most of that is it's all aluminum. So unless you really just want to take it apart for just got a little bit of copper out of it, that's not much. But take it apart. That's what we do here, Ma. Fortunate thing about aluminum, it's really breakable. I hate to leave, you know what? Probably I don't have to. Watch. Which I can. Piece of cast. Piece of cast. Get that out. One piece of cast. There we go. That. Electric motors. Where'd that go? A little bit of cast. Yep. And this one. Not that way, but that one for another day. This heat, doing like that. Electric motor. Iron chunk wire. Not really a whole lot out of it, but with this thing, moist stuff. I feel like might be aluminum. It is. Nice. There's another connector. Oh, cool piece of aluminum. And I mean, most of the time they're going to be plastic. That was actually aluminum. Plastic, $0 per any weight. Aluminum, 50 cents per pound. And one of those CO2 meters. Our little batteries and connectors and pieces of brass and this little computer connector and ooh.
That's not fun to do to me while I'm in the middle of cooking. I'm like, wait, when did we get one of those?
I have them. This one was in the trash, so I am going to take the notice and assume it doesn't work. Steel. Yeah. Well. I see. Silver. Get on a different day. These ones. Okay, so if I can get those down. That's what it looks like. Let's take with this one first. A little clip. I don't think that's going to get that. All I gotta do is figure it out once. Now, makes sense to do it like that. I don't think that's gonna look that right, but should have looked like this though. Yep. Think about that in a bit. I can take these apart by hand, and that means that's just something that I can, when I find them. Steel, some tin shred, probably brass. Or thin to brass, but I got that separated. Not with that idea. I'll come back to that in a bit. I can't leave that. So this is the inside of like a North tobacco vape. I mean, brands are going to vary across the country, but so the casing for those is aluminum or some sort of shred. It's not magnetic. So whatever that is, if you get, however that translates to total amount of weight, but it's not plastic. That's the thing. Even if it was steel, it'd still be, you could take it apart and recycle it. But aluminum, even all the better. And these are brass. You might be stainless, but just you can feel a difference in between that little bit. And if it's anything, then it's a come up in brass, even if it's stainless. Oh, I was still connected. Zippity's yet.
What?
Battery.
Ah.
Doesn't like to have other connections connecting to it that it's not supposed to have. basically I made an additional circuit where there wasn't supposed to be one. And it went,
I don't like it.
and it yelled at me. I got my vise right here, and I also have some channel locks. But I do with what I got.
So your mind gets more creative.
Yep. Innovate or die. I mean, that sounds pretty harsh for anyone listening and doesn't know what that is.
You sound mean.
Yeah. There was an old skateboarder slogan thing.
Yeah. Then you gotta think real quick when you're skateboarding, or you could die.
Yep, innovate. So this is basically, I can get this later out early. That. Fragile. Okay. Well, I know I could do that. That helps. I don't know if it's brass. I'll have to re-refer to a video to find out. Means I might be able to kill Dad off.
Might be able to what?
Peel stuff off. Peel them if you got them.
Sounded like you just said I'm gonna be able to kill data. Like, what?
Okay. Well, those are steel too, I believe. Yeah, so that doesn't really matter. Someone wants to move, and there's eye tension spring involved. just get that to break right there. I mean, I'm just curious. There it goes. That sure was interesting. Get over that. Wow. So yeah, most of take it apart. Good. Feels like aluminum. That cuts like it. It's not yellow. And breaks like it. All right. So, cast. Steel. That's a lot of work for that. I mean, that's just then And get somewhere you can get to snipping at it. Probably peel it apart. Deal with that later. Yeah. Nothing special in these. Just little components, a little insulated wire. Oh, that's good grass. Battery. Another one of these. I mean, if you're really into that, then I got the little motors. This is one with the rivet that goes through that steel. That's going to be cast, but everything else, steel. What I have. None of that. It's just that rivet. Now I can get to it. I mean, that took a little bit off. So I want that one. I want, there we go. Oh, this will work. This is fine. See, it doesn't want to like stay right where I want it at. Really don't want to use this. I can get a little, for that to come up like that. Why would you go off and do that for? I mean, they really make it to where they don't want you doing this. There it goes. There we go. All right, so at least I know that that is doable. I don't have to have an anvil or vise. Because all this is going to be steel. This is the thing I'm after. The cast aluminum. Both pieces. As far as I know, everything else in there is steel. One of these keys. Nope. That's got to be brass. Interesting. So, where or why? Yeah. That's a little retainer plate. I have some curved ones. I don't know if those are or not. That's what I want to figure out. Where are the curvy pliers and curvy needle nose? Ooh, curvy. No. Maybe. What I can do, if I can break this, find out what it is. That really just feels like that's going to be a hassle. All right, so plastic, that is out. Steel. Don't know. Let's find out. Aluminum. That was an interesting little discovery that I can take most of the other one apart. I'll chip the part of that and just peel that apart. I'll deal with that some other time. This stuff here, yeah, really getting dirty with it. Found a bullet in the parking lot on 9mm. Wow, it's steel. Maybe because it's been beside those magnets forever. Battery. Copper contacts. Cut those off. That's kind of weird. All right, so this is it's steel. I don't know what that stuff is in there. I don't know how to get that detached. Um, that's all. Not worried about that a little bit. I may need these in a minute. I think those are steel anyhow. Yeah. All right. I hope this isn't one of those new ones that you really can't freaking pry open. Not those ones, not these ones. There's one out there. I heard it, but must have been somewhere else because I heard it, but I didn't see it.
This is Ricky sitting there. Like he's lost. Oh, you get stuck in the rain, huh?
I think Brown, where are you, man? Why are you back out there? There's a few other things. Taken apart. I'm not going to be brass. They're just too light. You bend real easily. I'm not seeing any yellow. Still, so some cast, some regular aluminum, tin, whichever. It's all the same price up here. Everything but cast. Now I know the difference, right? That's what they look for. If I can easily get this screen separated. Okay, well that wants to move. I want this to move right here. There we go. So if this is steel, I'm not going to bother. It is steel. I'm not going to bother with trying to shred that up, trying to take all that apart. That's going to be plastic. Some more glass. What would have ribbon cable? This is steel. I don't know what this is. That is steel. I mean, barely, but it is. That is. Move that other thing down. Should be able to split this. So that's going to be brass. Oh, that is steel. Mother effer. Oh, that's steel. I wonder how easy these are to take out of here. Got a feeling I lost a lot with that. I don't want to spend all day on those. This is a burnish for that. Got a couple boards. Where am I at? What? 2.5. All right. Oh, I gotta get this. Tell you what, though. They did not want people getting into these. Making do with the tools I got. Hands. Yeah, I got all these electric motors that I guess are just best to just leave like that. Clip a little bit of brass off. Now I gotta do that one. This goes into that. Try to break that down. Break down. Break down. The little electric motors or the other one. Oh yeah, this thing too. Yeah, well, these. Oh yeah, this. It's amazing what you can take apart with an iFixit kit. That thing definitely comes in handy. Some pliers, multi-tools, wire cutters, small snips. Basic. I mean, I don't have any of those bigger bench tools. All hand tools, no power tools. Just amazing on what you can learn, what you can take apart. Protect your eyes. Now, what was that even for? Sounded like the very beginning of First Things First. Okay, entrance of my just the Imagine Dragons. Things are getting better. Ooh. I don't know if that's even the song. It's a song I'm singing in my head, though. Yeah, I don't think there's saving any of this. Well, maybe. I mean, all I can do is do that. It's not much, but it's more than the trash. That was a trailer light. Anyone else excited about X-Files coming out? I am. Yeah, ask me what else to do with another day. I mean, it could be dirty aluminum. It's going to be anyhow. I tried. Lord knows I tried. Well, I even wants to do it that way. All I want to do is break this plastic. So it's going to be like that regardless. That was a pita. A pita butter. So now, I should just be able to go. Oh, maybe another one. Well, just shattered the whole damn thing. And get more out of it. Heck yeah. I was just after the contact, the little peg. the male part. Male part. That's mail call. Mail time. All right. I was able to get a little bit of that down. That's all. Most of all these are all just little motors. And these little things have little copper spools in them. I wonder. That was another day. Point is getting stuff processed down. And adding to the collection. So, steel. And that's steel. Batteries. Aluminum, which all aluminum's going in one anyhow. Let me get some of that going, actually. Oh, so this could be cleaned up a bit. Get this, and this. That'll hold that, actually all of that, quite well. Shred and aluminum. Yes. Plastic doesn't count. That is steel, that is trash. Motors. Brass, nothing I've been doing with that. Copper. With brass right here. Gonna train. All right, making headway on that stuff. I don't know how I keep finding little pieces of copper. Whatever it is, that's a bonus. A little bit of copper not going in the trash. Man, I did this before the other times, and my hands never got like this. I'm not quite sure what to make of this. Like a little ferrite. Well, these are brass. Go, that's copper. It's heavy for what it is. I think it's aluminum. No. It's not magnetic. So I can tear these boards down, and then I'll have some motors, and this here I can do sometime. Rest of this. Get to those sometime. I think those are steel. There's nothing else on it. Well, that was very underwhelming. Thought there was more to it. No. I'm going with brass though. I don't think we need that anymore for now. Maybe that a little. Probably not that. Smaller one will do, not that one. Ah, gamer's all the way over there. I think you can hear me. Not with all the people in here. Yeah, that's a long train too. It's still going. Okay, there's that. Oh, cut most of that one. Oh well. It's still going. That was a long train. Cool. That was an all-in-one. it shouldn't be that difficult to get out of there. I mean, I'm not going to be worried about this a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it's a bummer, but comes another one. I guess that stuff was not difficult to deal with. All right, so that what I thought. So those little silver things. All right. Man, I hate to use that bigger snips. We're going to process this one down pretty easily. Pretty interesting little factoid I've already posted in one of my videos. It's called Famous Brands History. It goes over TDK. Now, TDK made ferrite. They invented ferrite back in the 50s. Electronics haven't been the same since. How's this all wound up on here? That one took way too long to do that, that's for sure. This one's going to be pretty easy. Nope, wrong ones. That one. There we go. Actually, looks like I can just do this. Maybe not. Tried. I mean, it makes it go out easier. Yeah, it can't be at this. Well, that's not even at 7:30. This is why I wanted to start this early, so I can get that done and get a little more processing done. If I end up with more bigger things, however I end up, I don't want it to all just sit there because I don't have the room to hold on to a bunch of stuff. In my eBay realm, it's the same thing. You know, I get that stuff listed really darn quick. That part feels like plastic. We don't want no plastic. Aqua does. So I could probably have just like try to cut. That works just as well. Just as well. All right. Oh, that's pretty good. Chunky. That one's pretty thin. I'm not going to bother. That one I can. I got to get cleaned up and go head down to Akron tomorrow. Go to a couple of those stores. Visit my mom down that way. Don't want to hurt. Ouch. I'm not really married to that amount of copper. I mean, it's not all going to be perfect. There's another coil right here. That. So I think that's a steel part. Usually is. Yeah, nothing else. There's little bits of copper in this one too. Well, there's a lot in that one. But that one is not. That's what I thought. It didn't feel like it, but that's the one. That's not it. Is that it? Here, it was. Got him. aluminum. Finish this one up and then kind of straighten up. Yeah, without separating those or cutting right here. Let's see on. Yeah, I mean, that's a really fine copper, but I bet you I could probably just cut right down there. Let's peel it right out. Works just as well. We take this. We do that. I mean, not as like super clean, but if you were paying attention, you see how much I started with. I see how much there is on this. I mean, the meat cleaver, slicing it and just cutting it down the middle and getting that stuff out, that's definitely quicker than this. But I am not going for speed. Going for distance. Get my magnet off that. And electric motor steel. That's what I'm going to put it as. Going here. There you go. Ball of copper. Start that little stash off right. Yeah, then I gotta crack these fuses. So I can get regular brass. Even if the the little casing is still inside the brass, I can still get brass, but I gotta cut them open and get all that filler and stuff out. Oh, that was pretty cool. Not the cleanest brass, but and all these plug-ins. Let's all do another day. That's aluminum. Ready to put that stuff away. Cool container of copper. Collection of brass. Mostly. Get this done and call it. Aluminum, steel. What? Oh yeah, it's right there. So I wouldn't have bothered with that if it wasn't for that little copper strip. So more. And those trains are moving today. Yeah, I'm not going to dig into all that. All right, so no ICs. Real small ones, not enough to worry about. So you know what? I wonder. I doubt it. It wants to. I mean, I got it. Made contact with that. Yeah, these are 10 shears. Then aluminum shears. So that would just have to go in as aluminum. Oh, I get this. And then the rest are just like little motors and stuff that, for the most part, just keep like that and then separate the transformers sometime and have it be like that. But I wonder if I can just, I doubt with this. I doubt. No. I mean, those might be. So even if that's aluminum, that's still going to be a shred. I doubt that's actually like brass. This one maybe. But that's still just going to be aluminum. All right. This one is steel and stuff that's in here. See, I bet you this is on like a little race. That way, people can't do exactly what I'm trying to do. So let's see how much of it is. It's just down to right here. This steel. I don't think I can do that. Depend that. My next thinking, if I can get a little bit of this lip up here, all I gotta do is then start just peeling it away slowly. Like that. I don't have the tools for this, but I have the tools for it. Figured it'd break like that. Figured it would. But got some. And they really do a number on. They really did a number on that. You did a whopper of a job. See, I just want to know, like, how easy it is to really separate these without the use of power tools or bench tools. And I really, you have to get like all of them. I mean, I doubt it means anything. Oh, reselling parts from reselling parts from used people. Yeah, I mean, it all depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to sell it CPU cooler, or the CPU or the RAM or the motherboard, I mean, you gotta look at the specific stuff and consider your cost and time and all that. This, all I'm doing, I'm micro scrapping down. I'm just, getting the aluminum and the copper and the brass and stuff out. CPUs, you could sell on eBay for sure, depending what they are. The older the CPU, the more gold content that's in them, the more they are. That's the primary driving factor for that stuff. Now, there's a place down in a little more than an hour south of here in Alliance, just outside of Canton, Ohio. That's called Board Sort. They'll buy circuit boards and motherboards and CPU and RAM is like $54 a pound for your RAM because of the gold content. But if you've got a real nice old Alienware from the early 2000s, no, I mean that's a collector piece now. So PCs are just so much of the stuff. I have a the board for a GTX 480 in here that I took apart because I was getting artifacts years and years and years ago. I just kept it for that purpose. Actually, I had it listed in case anybody wanted to do basically the same thing I did. That's something I'll do some other time. I don't have anything else really to take apart now. But yeah, I mean, that greatly depends on your intent for money, for if you're like, here's, yeah. But yes, ultimately, yes. Old PC stuff, you could sell it complete. You could take apart a bunch of old hard drives and get the scrap metal out of them, which you're going to get 30 to 50 cents a piece by separating the aluminum in the not too much. I mean, they're not a whole lot. They're a chunk for what they are. A chunk of metal for what they are. It's better than plastic. But yeah. So these are aluminum. I'm going to have to. I did say I did need to get a small hacksaw. Because if I can hacksaw that down, then that's going to be primarily all. At least it could still probably go in the aluminum. But I want to clean that, even if that's what I'm going to choose to do. And then you'd really be surprised on what little bits and pieces of stuff. I don't know if they're still here, but these are like graphics card cable ends, USB, VGA, DVI, USB connectors, more of that. Power supply connectors, SATA connectors, because these are gold. This stuff is like $4 a pound. So there's a lot of just really oddball. And I just started doing this a handful of months ago. And I just happened to get the stuff from the trash. I'm like, well, start doing that. So here's another. Got a piece of brass on that right there. So electric motors are like 30 cents a pound. So this one I took apart, put it back together. That's all insulated wire. Another transformer. So I mean, the answer to that, it all depends really what your end goal is. So that feels like brass. So does that, but that is not. Those are all three. Those had 4 connectors, yeah. I cut the connector tip off. Oh yeah, like those CPUs in there. I don't remember. I don't remember what they're two. IC chips. I gotta depopulate from some of those boards. So those are for that one. That's that. A little bit of brass already in there. Yeah, I don't think that's cast. That is just way too heavy. And it's not magnetic. So deadbolts are good. Okay. So this, what did I do with the other one? Oh, that's all down here. Oh, I needed another container for that ribbon cable. Small box. Oh yeah, this steel too. I got some other steel out in the car. Well, it's out in the carport now. It's put away. I mean, I don't have that much. I guess I could. This. So a lot of this ribbon cable has gold connector ends. So you clip those off and you get a different price for that. But this stuff here is like $2 a pound or something. These are keyboard backings. Those are a different price. I don't know exactly all the exact pricing. Okay, that's out of the way. Nothing there. Nothing in that one. All right. That away. That's actually a lid to that. This is a couple pieces of sterling. Like that. It has a damn plaster filler. And those ones are wood. Right there for now. Those. Can't believe I broke my fine snips. So the smaller pair, but broke my other ones. Another free screwdriver. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with those right now. I didn't get anything else. That's fine, I suppose. There we go. So minus the trash. And that lead acid battery. That's pretty cleaned up in here. Alright, that was one of the button batteries. I don't know where the other one went. Oh, that's why I do it like that. There's another one right there, but not worry about it. Alright, that's it.